Hey, this is Aaron with Scalability, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Scalability new IVR workflow. So what it is, it's an interactive voice response system where when somebody calls in, you get that little recording where it says, press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this. We have it built into Scalability, and today I'm going to show you how to do that because it's built in as a pre-built workflow. So I'm going to show you kind of how to plug that in real quick and then how to start making the changes to it. So if we come into, this is a demo account inside of Scalability. If we come in here and click on automation in this left side menu, it's going to bring up this section where you can start creating your workflows. And we're just going to click create a workflow. Now, if we scroll down right here, this second row right here in the middle says recipe IVR. If I select that one, it's going to build this pre-built IVR system. And so if I expand this a little bit where you can see the whole thing, these pieces are already built inside of here for you. And so I'll take a few seconds here and show you just kind of how to dial these in and what they mean. But this is immediately built for you just by selecting that particular workflow that's pre-done. So let's dig in here. If we scroll up here to the top, your trigger is always going to be to start this IVR trigger. And if I click on that, it's start the IVR trigger is the trigger. And then it's saying in phone number is what we're selecting here. And you want to select the phone number to where if any calls come into this phone number, which will be your scalability numbers, that's what will trigger everything else underneath it to happen. So this particular demo account only has one phone number attached to it. If you have multiple accounts, you can set up multiple different IVR systems for each separate phone number to where you can have different menu items and different paths for people to go based on whichever phone number they call. That's really only important if you have like big sales team and lots of different numbers. Ultimately though, most people this will work for with just one. So you'll select the phone number for the trigger, and then underneath that, you'll see that it's going to go a welcome message to the caller, and then it's going to collect input from the caller, and then it maps the caller's input and breaks it out into these 4 different places, right? So any of the time you're in workflows, if you click on the workflow action, it's going to bring up the settings on the right. So here, welcome message to the caller. Right here, we have say a message or play a message. If you click play a message, you can actually upload a recording of your own. If you have say a message, it's going to use a robot voice, and it's going to say whatever you have in this little section right here. So if we say welcome to Scalability. When somebody calls, it's going to use a woman's voice. You can select woman or a man. It's going to have a woman's voice, and she's going to say, hello, welcome to Scalability. It sounds like a computer. So it's not like some fancy AI that people will be confused as to whether it's a recording or not. It sounds like a computer saying it. So if you don't like that, then make sure you click on play a message and upload your own. But for this instance, we're just going to leave it at say a message. You can type whatever you want in here, and that's what the robot is actually going to say to the caller when they call in. Then it's going to go down to collect input from the caller. And so then basically we've got say a message again. And here it's going to say, press 1 to hear a list of services, press 2, press 2 to leave a voicemail, or press 3 to talk to our team. Okay, so it has press 1, press 2, press 3. If I just, again, it's a woman that loops once. If I just leave that, it comes down to this next stage right here. And this is just an if else. So if I click on the plus here and type in if else, it's this action right here. We've just titled it map caller's input. Okay. So then inside here, we've got press 1, and then we've got digits is 1. So we want to make sure that this is digits 1. It's already built for you, but this is saying if they press 1, it's going to flow down to the press 1. Okay. Press 2, digits is 2. Press 3, digits is 3. So that's blocking it to where it's saying if they press 1, it's going to go over here. If they press 2, it'll go here. If 3, here. And then we've got a fourth one, which is just none. So if they just don't press any buttons, it's going to map them off to this none category over here. Okay. As we come down into these, basically this is broke up to where it hits 1, list of services. We've got say a message again, and then you can type whatever you want in here. Right? So services 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here, if you wanted to continue this on, you could simply have a collect, let me show you right up here. If we go right above this, we've got basically it's saying this message, welcome to the call center, and then collect input from the caller. Right here, we've got it saying information, just like this one right up top. Welcome message to the caller. This is a list of services. If you wanted to have them press 1, 2, or 3 again and go somewhere else, you can see here it just ends. So if we click this plus, you could say collect information from the caller again. So if I just scroll down here on this right side, I can actually see the IVR actions right here. They're almost all the way to the bottom, but there's record a voicemail, connect to call, say play a message, or gather input from the caller. So first we have a say play a message. That's this step right here. And then we want to gather input on the call and plug it in right there so that we can do an if else and have a press 1 for this service, press 2 for this service, press 3 for this, if you want to route them. Or it's going to state the services and then it's just going to end. That's going to be the end of that. So if we put gather input on a call, you can type in whatever you want here again, right? Press 1 for this service, 2 for that service. It's in a woman's voice, going to loop once. And then you would just do the if else again. And you would create another branch like this, right? Where in here, you're going to press digits 1, digits is 2, digits in 3. So you could copy this right here like this, copy action, and you can copy it right here. So if I click copy action, I can place it right there, and it's going to map this out like this, okay? I need to collect input from the caller. I can do copy action. I can place it right there in between. So now I've got, if they press 1 here, it brings them over to this. It's going to speak, or the robot will say the list of services, and then it's going to collect input from the caller. And on this one, press 1 to hear whatever. So you can say press 1 to do this, press 2 to do this, and then underneath that, we're mapping them to 1, 2, and 3. And you would just basically model this one that's right above it, okay? But this is built for you. So if we come over here, if they press 2, the way this is set up with the template is to where if they press 2, it comes down to record a message from caller. And this is saying a message. Please record your message. Once you've recorded your message, press pound to complete your call. Okay, we've got a woman's voice saying it. Number of loops is 1. And then it's going on to the step of record a voicemail. If you open that up, it's going to have record voicemail. That's the name right here. And then I like to click on play a beep because it tells people, hey, it's time for you to record. So basically they're going to hear this first message being read by the robot, and then it's going to come down and they'll hear a beep. And then if it's silent, this is saying stop recording after 5 seconds. So if they don't say anything, the system's not just going to keep recording. It's just going to shut off. And then if they press the pound key when they're done, it will complete it and everything else. This has a max recording length of 360 seconds. Just so you remember that, the text is right underneath this box, but it says the maximum recording length in seconds. So 360 is basically 6 minutes. It's allowing them to leave up to a 6-minute voicemail, and then it'll cut them off. If they press 3, we've got it coming down here to transfer call to an agent. And this basically allows you to transfer the call and select what user you want or send it to a custom number just by typing in whatever. So if you want them to get connected to your cell phone or to a salesperson's cell phone or just to your Scalability user, you click the drop down, you select the user, and it will plug them in. And that's all there is to it to make sure that one's dialed in. Okay. When no condition is matched over here, this is saying if they're not meeting any of those. So if they don't press 1, 2, or 3, none of those things happen. They're coming over here. No condition's been met. And they're number 1, collect input from the caller. It's basically saying when no condition is met, we're going to say a message. You have not entered a valid input. Please listen to the options again. It's repeating the first stages up here. So it's going to tell them again, press 1, press 2, press 3. If you read this box right here, make a valid selection. It's going to come down to collect input from the caller, and it's going to say press 1 to hear the list of services. Press 2 to leave a voicemail. And you see then it's just mapping the input and it's doing it again. So if we look at this and we scroll out here where you can see it again, This is just saying that when the phone rings on a specific phone number, it's going to say a message, hey, thanks for calling Scalability. And then it's going to immediately drop down to here and it's going to say press 1 to see this, 2, 3. And then when they press 1, 2, or 3, it's going to bring them over into each one of these. You can tag people as they come through here. You can do whatever you want because naturally clicking on any of these pluses brings up all the stuff that you can trigger to go. But we wanted to get the main pieces in place so that you're ready to start using it as quick as possible. So if you just grab the recipe IVR from the pre-built workflows, it's going to have 90% of this mapped out for you. Then you just come in, click on these, change the text to whatever you want the robot to say, and then change the elements to where it's like list of services. You can just click and change the details to where it doesn't say list of services. It can be, here are office hours. And then you just change the text inside here to say, here's the list of office hours, or here's our office hours. Okay, so this is how the IVR works and how you can make changes to it. Dig into it, start playing with it. As always, the best way to learn is to simply get in there and poke around. So the last thing is check the settings up top and make sure that we've allowed re-entry. It should be toggled on already, but when you're right here in this top menu, click settings, allow re-entry. That means if somebody calls over and over and over, it's going to allow them to come through this workflow over and over and over. And then as soon as you're ready, click publish, save in the top right corner, and you're good to go. We'll see you on the next one.